It's time for the absolutely, completely random podcast with Andrew Rhodes. It's amazing the fact that I hardly ever show my face, and yet so many people tune into my videos. You must really like the sound of my voice. Either that or I have a face for radio. Either way. Welcome everybody to the absolutely, completely random podcast. For Saturday, April 21st, 2018, I am your host, as always, Andrew Rhodes. Sadly alone this week, as Professor Clump is a little preoccupied. And by preoccupied, I mean his wife has pretty much dragged him home. It was actually quite the show. I wish I would have had a camera. It was actually kind of funny to watch. I had to think of popcorn and enjoy it with. What am I talking about this week? What do I have to babble on about for the next hour or so? Well, let's check on the old topics list, shall we? This week, I'm going to be talking about, well, unfortunately, the passing of Harry Anderson, a.k.a. Judge Harold T. Stone, from the hit TV series Night Court. This one's actually kind of sad for me, too. The Bratz CEO's bid for Toys R Us has been rejected. Oh, snap. I have not one, but two My Hero Academia topics this week. Why not? You know? I'm going to be talking about Capcom's puzzle fighter game shutting down on July 31st. The new Gundam series has been announced. Gundam NT has been unveiled as the new UC anime set after Gundam Unicorn. Ooh. And you know those bento boxes that you always see the neat pictures of? You want to know how to make those? I kind of do in a way. I'd never eat the stuff that I would make because it would be just too precious at that point. But I'm going to be talking about a video apparently that's out that teaches you how to do it. And maybe some random stuff. You never know. Because there's so many things that can happen, right? But as always, you know the song and dance. You know the drill. You know how this works. ARHOADS-2012 on eBay for all of your weird oddity collectibles. I got DVDs. I got games. I do have games. I got games. I got trading cards. I got action figures. I got crap that you could probably find in your parents' basement. And you can get it really good. There's always something for somebody. I'm always a stern believer in that. There's something out there for somebody. Anyway, if you're interested in any of that stuff, check out my eBay page, ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. You can also follow me on Twitter at Otaku Rhodes. That's the @ symbol, OTAKURHOADS. And you can also check me out on Facebook on the Web Designer 18 Facebook page. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Alright, so let's start off with how my week was. You know, the segment we do every week here. How was your week, Andrew? I mean, we get to know one another. You leave comments on my videos. I get to know you. I tell you how my week went in my podcast. That's how you get to know me. At least until I finally sit down and do a Q&A video. Which, hint, hint, I'm thinking about doing. So, how did my week go, per se? Not bad, but not good either. We had an issue with the car. Yes. The four-wheeled behemoth. Yes. It's been making a squealing, screeching noise, I want to say since, like, December. And because I was working night shift, and then we had the snowstorms, and I really didn't have a chance to get it looked at, because between the snowstorms and work, I was honestly flat out of screwed to get it looked at. We finally had no choice. We got it looked at. Turns out it was the fan belts. Yay! And they were worn, they were loose, and they were binding. So we got them replaced. $136 later. This kind of hurts. More than you could imagine. That hurts. It was fixed Thursday. Or no, it was fixed on Wednesday. Didn't give us any issues Thursday. Friday morning I go to work, I hear the squealing noise again. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And I'm like, maybe it was just damp out, and like it might have been just like a little wet or something, like moisture might have gotten up into it. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to say anything. It could just be burning something off. I'm not going to say anything yet. Friday night it did it, and today it's done it. So I got to go back down and talk to the mechanic on Monday. That's just great. I hate having to do confrontations when it comes to this. Like, hey, you know how you fixed our car? Yeah, it's still doing the thing yet. It's still making the noise when I start the car up. It doesn't do it now when I turn, but it just does it when I start the car. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. So I'm mechanically, what's a good word for staying mechanically stupid? Mechanically ignorant. There we go. That'll work. That'll work. I at least know the concept of you put fuel in it goes. I know how to check the oil. I know how to check the transmission fluid to a point, the coolant to a point, mostly because I've always had used cars that I've driven, so it's never a simple, oh, you just look at the gauge on the coolant tank. No, because those are always crud dirty and crud covered, and you can never clean it off to see it. I know I got to get the oil changed on that thing. I don't know, maybe I'll say something to the mechanic about that too when I go down and talk about the... By the way, I'm having the issue with this again. Oh yeah, and while you're under there, can you change the oil for me too? What the hell? Might as well kill two birds with one stone. Other than that, this week's been kind of, I want to say uneventful for the most part, because it kind of has been. Had work 2 days this week, played my game, my games, fought with my tablet. I ended up getting a router. This is a fun story. I have a constant problem with electronics. For anybody that knows me, I constantly fight with electronics. I have threatened to turn so many computers into can openers, it is not even funny anymore. So a few weeks ago, I was searching around on eBay, and I thought, I really wouldn't mind getting a better router for home. Just one to have, just like a good one, and then have the one that we were using as a backup router in case that one craps out. Then I can get rid of the first one that we got that, while it is good, it didn't work. It started giving me a little bit of problems. Not that it, malfunctioned or anything. It's more designed for a smaller home. Like if you live in an apartment or a condo, that's what it's designed for. And it just wasn't cutting the mustard and it wasn't cutting the cheese anymore. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to look into getting another, I'm going to look into getting a better one. And I did. It worked. And now today I went in to check something. I wanted to see if there was a firmware update needed for the damn thing. And now I can't get back into the router. So now I got to reset the stupid thing. Yay! And go back to square one. Which, in all honesty, it's fine. It only came on Wednesday. So it's only really been hooked up for like 3 days. So it's not exactly like I did a tremendous amount of stuff in 3 days and I can reset everything back up. It's not exactly an issue. As far as I'm concerned, it's not an issue. So I'm actually quite happy with that. That it's not an arm and a leg type of deal. But I do have one last idea to try to access the router again to figure out what in the hell is going on. And if that doesn't work, then it's just reset time. And in all honesty, like I said, that'll literally take me like 10 minutes, 15 at the most to reset it. And put everything back to where it was currently after I reset it. So it's like 10-15 minutes total. So it's not too bad. But other than that, yeah, this week's been pretty uneventful. For the most part. We watched a movie with my grandfather again this week. We pretty much do that every weekend. Unless family calls and says that they're coming. In which case, my mom and I hide. But we watched Funny Money. Chevy Chase movie from 2006. It's not bad, but it's one of those types of movies that you honestly need a scorecard to keep track of the damn thing. The plot revolves around this predictable, boring, dull as dirt guy that accidentally stumbles upon a briefcase filled with $5 million. And he accidentally stumbles upon this pretty much by, I want to say, bumping into the person on the subway and swapping briefcases by accident because they were both the same briefcase. Yeah. Hilarity ensues. So much crap happens. It's just complete anarchy. It's funny, but it's just complete anarchy. But in all honesty, it wasn't a bad movie. It was just weird. But that's pretty much what we did today, my entire week. So yeah. So let's get into the podcast, shall we? We got a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it. All rise. Criminal Court Part 2 is now in session. The Honorable Judge Harold T. Stone, sadly, will not be presiding anymore, as the actor Harry Anderson has sadly passed away this week. Harry Anderson, I want to say he was a good actor for the show. Night Court was this really cool television series that was on way back in the 80s and went to 90s. Let me see here. It's down on here. So I have his Wikipedia page open. Okay. From 1984 to 1992, he played Judge Harold Harry T. Stone for 193 episodes. Also occasional director and writer for the series. He was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series 1984 to 1986. So, it's actually pretty cool. And Night Court itself was a really great show. It aired on NBC from January 1984 to May 31st of 1992. Basically took place in the night shift of a Manhattan Municipal Court. Criminal Court Part 2, like I just said in the opening, which was always mentioned by the bailiff, Bull, which is always kind of fun. It's the one thing I remember. I mostly watched the show in reruns from when it was on Biography, and that was the channel that would become A&E. So that's how I always watched it. Was just, but I mean, by the time I was old enough to comprehend this, the show was done. This show ended in 1992. Like 1992, was it 1992 or 1993? Okay, 1992. My apologies if I said 3 before. It was 1992. And in all honesty, I mean, it's simple. In 1992, I would have been what? Let's see, I was born in 89. I would have been a whopping 2? Maybe 3? No, not even that. I would have been 2. Yeah, no way. At this point in my life, I would safely say that I was probably understanding colors on Sesame Street and pointing to Big Bird and laughing and smiling. Not to mention probably crapping myself and burping and spitting up. There we go. I was trying to think of the word there. Yeah, okay, sure. But Night Court was a good show, and Harry Anderson did a really great job as Judge Harold T. Stone. He basically was this judge that the only reason why he became a judge was because they called all the judges on a Sunday, and he was the only judge that was at home. That was how he got appointed. It's actually kind of a funny story. Unfortunately, though, like I said, he did sadly pass away this week. He died via... Let's see. Oh, here it is. He died in his sleep of cardiac arrest in his home in Asheville at the age of 65. But back in late January of this year, he suffered several strokes, which caused a decline in his health. And that's never a good sign. So, he just sort of... I mean, you get old. Nobody can live for eternity. I mean, come on. No one is immortal. Sorry to break it to you. But it's not exactly a whole, new thing here. People do die, but it's just kind of shocking when someone like him goes, because he still had a lot he could have done. And it's kind of fun about it, and then you just have to basically read about the person then after they die, and that's when you learn more about them, and it always makes me sad when you do that. Anderson was a longtime fan of the singer Mel Torme. For those of you who don't know who that is, I recommend Google. And his character from Night Court, Judge Stone, was also a Torme fan. I remember him having like a picture of Torme in his chambers. He was a huge Torme fan. He always wore a type of hat and a coat that you'd always see people from the era before him wearing. So it was kind of a cool thing. Torme actually guest starred as himself 6 times in the sitcom. And the creator actually stated that Anderson, being a Tomei fan, like his character was completely coincidental. They honestly did not write that, so it's kind of cool. He was among those who delivered eulogies at the singer's funeral back in 1999. So it's kind of sad. But in all honesty, it's really just sad that he passed away at this point. Not only was he known, though, for Night Court, he actually did do some magics. He was somewhat of a magician. Not a bad one either, because he did do some of the magic on Night Court. So it was kind of cool. And it's in here somewhere. Okay, something. All right, where is it? Okay, as I find it, let me keep talking here. Okay, see here, a little profile. After Dave's World was canceled, he moved to Pasadena, or from Pasadena to New Orleans. Let's see, second one with Elizabeth. Blah 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Opened a small shop in the French Quarter named Spade and Archer Curiosities by Appointment, later named Sideshow, selling various magic curiosities and apocophilia, whatever the hell that means. In 2000, he hosted the pilot for a potential revival of the classic panel game show What's My Line for CBS Primetime. Okay. In 2005, he opened a nightclub in the French Quarter called Oswald's Speakeasy, located at 1331 Decanter Street at the corner of Esplanade Avenue. He performed a one-man show there called Wise Guy. And I like that how the address is a palindrome. 1331 is the same forwards and backwards. It's a palindrome. There you go. Free lesson for you, kids. The palindromes. The same forwards and backwards. Let's see here. He appeared in Hexing a Hurricane, a documentary about his first 6 months in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. That's this stuff. In his final years, Anderson appeared in television comedy specials such as in Comedy Bang Bang in 2013 and Gotham Comedy Live in 2014. His final film portrayal was as Professor Kamen in the 2014 Christian drama film A Matter of Faith. I had to really read that there, so my screen kind of went a little dark there for a moment. I apologize. So he kept himself busy long after Night Court. He did 3 films: The Escape Artist in 1982, Hexing a Hurricane in 2006, and A Matter of Faith in 2014. Those are the only 3 things he did. Other than that, he was mostly known as a TV personality. He was funny, I will admit that. He was he was well liked. I mean, I actually enjoyed him on Night Court. That's honestly what I'm going to remember him the most for, was Judge Harold T. Stone on Night Court. And it's just sad that he's gone. And he gets added to the list now for 2018 of so many people that sadly passed away. I mean, Vern Troyer just died today. So everybody just found out about it. He was the one that played Mini-Me in Austin Powers. In those Austin Power movies, he was Mini-Me. It was Vern Troyer. He just passed away. You have so many other people that have already died this year alone. So 2018, death-wise, is going to be like 2016 all over again. That's just great. But it's really sad when somebody goes. And he was really well liked. He's well loved, and he will always be remembered. So, I'd like to take a moment, if we may, a moment of silence in memory of Harry Anderson. Rest in peace, buddy. Criminal Court Part 2 is now adjourned. Judge Stone will be missed. Very much so. Alright, let's talk about app games. We all love them. We all play them. For your smartphone, your tablet, what have you. Here's some good and some bad games out there. There's always some really good stuff. But here's some bad news for those of you that like Capcom's Puzzle Fighter smartphone game. It's done. Capcom announced on Friday that it will remove its Puzzle Fighter smartphone game from the app stores on July 1st. Capcom will then shut down the game's servers on July 31st. So you get to play it for one last month, basically. in July. And the game only just launched last November. Capcom stated that it gifted 10,000 in-game gems to users in the game on Friday. The company is also making characters Rega, Dr. Wily, and Ada Wong available for free for all players, as well as the Darminer and Ouroboros laboratory stages. Wow, really come up with some weird names for, locations and games now. In addition, the Classic Mode limited event will be available permanently until the servers shut down. Capcom will disable all in-app purchases after April 23rd, but players can still use in-game currency until July 31st. This sort of just brings back memories of Digimon Heroes shutting their doors, and I'm still feeling the pain from that because the one Digimon I wanted from the start of that, I ended up getting the final day that the app was open, and I couldn't get a picture of it. It still hurts me to this day. Thanks a lot, Bandai Namco. Yeah. Oh, your Digimon Link's game may be fun. I want Omegamon. Any chance we can get him soon? No, we get this stupid Volcadrodramon or whatever that thing is right now. Capcom's starting to pull a Bandai here. Oh, boy. So, Capcom launched this app for iOS and Android devices worldwide in November of 2017. The game includes characters such as Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, and Blanca from Street Fighter, X from Mega Man, Morrigan from Darkstalkers, Jill Valentine from Resident Evil, and Frank West and Chuck Green from Dead Rising. Players can choose one main character and 2 assist characters that each have their own strengths and special abilities. So it's pretty much like Fighters, like Dragon Ball Fighters, except it's Capcom and you have limited characters. So while I'm upset that any app has to close that could possibly be fun, I can kind of see why this one's probably shutting their doors early. Let's face it, Dragon Ball FighterZ came out, and it's pretty much wrecking the scene of 3 versus 3 battles. And in all honesty, I could understand this. I mean, if the game's roster is limited, like it seems to be, if you only have, let's see, how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you got like 9 characters plus the 3 that were made available to everybody. So 9, 10, 11. Okay, so you got like 12 characters. That literally gives you 4 possible good combinations, maybe, of teams you can use. Plus, there might be some more. But either way, hold on, take 3. Okay, that would give you 36 combinations. My apologies. That'll give you 36 different combinations if my Andrew math is right. And it kind of sucks. But I can understand at this point why they're shutting down a game like this. Like I said, Dragon Ball FighterZ, when it came out, it's pretty much dominated the entire 3 versus 3 battling genre. If you can't play it, and okay, while this is a tablet game and FighterZ is a console game, I can understand why people aren't going to come to this. And I could just hear somebody typing in the comments, the two are totally different consoles. Yeah, but the problem is that if you want to play a fighter game that's 3-on-3 with a whole bunch of characters and decent graphics, you can easily just go and get that one. I mean, they have it out, I think, coming out for the Switch soon, if I read something right. But as far as app games are concerned, okay, I don't know why Capcom's yanking the plug on this after only what? They launched it in November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So we're looking, December, January, February, March, April, June, May, June, July. Okay, so after 8 months, why they're yanking the plug all of a sudden, I don't know. Why they're suddenly yanking the plug out from underneath it, why they're yanking the rug out, I don't know. Maybe funding fell through, maybe they want the people on something else, maybe they considered it a failed experiment because people aren't playing it enough. I mean, you could have added more characters, you could have changed up the battle sequences a bit or something. I haven't played it, so I can't say anything about it from a player's aspect, but from a person that could have played it, if somebody were to tell me this is how many characters are in the game, this is what you get, and this is what the whole point of the game is, I would look at it and go, okay, list of characters, that's it? That's kind of piss poor. Because you only get X amount of characters, which means that you have to use them, which means you're only getting good with those characters. This isn't a game where you have multiple possibilities of characters that you can use with different abilities and attributes, like links, Puzzles and Dragons, things like that. This is an honest to goodness, okay, this is all you get. And it's like, huh? So I can understand the frustration and the anger with this. Beyond a doubt, I can understand it from people that are upset and angry, and I can understand why this game would probably get yanked because of that. On the other side of that coin, though, it could have also been mostly a, I want to say, decision from the, it's not as popular as we were hoping it was going to be. We thought it was going to take off. It's not taking off. It's not doing what we thought it was going to do. We're just going to yank the plug. To hell with it. We're done. And it could go that sort of deal. And if that's the way and the reason why they're doing it, I mean, 8 months is not really much time to ascertain whether or not something's good or not. While granted, you could probably have figured it out in a few months, basically guesstimating it from this to this does not give you a decent thing. Word of mouth takes a bit of time to spread. It's not something that's simple and easy to do. It takes time. But then again, maybe people are just in a hurry and don't want to worry about that stuff. Well, okay, fine. Whatever suits you and whatever floats your boat. So if you have the app on your smartphone or your tablet or whatever, enjoy it while it lasts. Because come January 3rd, July 31st, it goes bye-bye. Poor Street Fighter. Oh well, Ken still has all of his money to roll back on. Alrighty. So, let's reset my weeks I talked about Toys R Us counter, because apparently it seems to be my new Pokemon topics. Holy crap. So, I talked about last week, and I know for a fact it was last week, because this just keeps getting weirder and weirder as it goes. So, the CEO of Bratz put in last week a bid to save Toys R Us, wanting to turn them into basically mini Disneylands in your neighborhood. I remember that part because I still keep making the joke about, oh, you get to spend $170 to park. And I keep having the Happy World Land song from Tiny Toon Adventures stuck in my head. Well, Toys R Us has rejected the bid. And I can hear a tremendous amount of people palm slapping their head at the moment. I agree with you. So Toys R Us has rejected a bid from the billionaire toy maker behind Bratz dolls and Little Tykes. Isaac Laren placed a $675 million bid for 200 of the remaining 735 U.S. Toys R Us locations and almost all of the more than 80 locations in Canada. Toys R Us is still considering other offers, but it's not clear whether those would keep U.S. stores open. What other offers are you considering at this point? You're facing bankruptcy. Your stores are closing, yet you're still hiring people for some unknown crazy-ass reason. And yes, those hiring signs are new. You want to know how I know? I drove around the Toys R Us in my location before I had to go to work. So I had to be at work by 5 a.m., and usually all the lights are on the inside. I thought, oh, all the lights are off. Better drive in the parking lot up there quick. Go by the door and see if there's a sign that says we're closed. Go away. No, there's no signs, but there's brand new we're hiring signs in bright pink paper. You're hiring, yet you're closing. That's almost like me opening up a store and calling it going out of business. That would be an interesting idea. I'm going to open a store and I'm going to call it going out of business. That would be amazing. What's the name of your store? We're going out of business. Well, I know that's what the name of your store is. I know that's what's happening, but what's the name of your store? We're going out of business. It's like an Abbott and Costello routine. It's like, who's on first? That just shows you how hip I am with understanding old stuff if I know that. So, sources with knowledge of the matter say the bid was too low. $675 million is too low to save your asses. Okay. So $675 million is too low of a bid. Were you hoping for $500 billion? $500 million? You're over $500 million at this point. Are you looking for $1 billion on the nose? $5 billion? What? Seriously? And Laren is just freaking out about this. Told CNN Money on Tuesday he was not aware of this rejection. If this is true, it is very disappointing. You're basically on your boat. You chuck Toys R Us a life preserver, and they flip you the bird and tell you to go kiss off. And that's their version of like, yeah, we know you're here to help us. Sit and spin. Bye. What the hell? We feel confident that we submitted a fair valuation of the company's U.S. assets, Laren said, adding that he wants to keep fighting to save Toys R Us. I would want to keep fighting to save Toys R Us. I could understand. I could see a profitability in this if you do fix it up and make it better. I'm not saying little mini Disneylands. Nobody wants a mini Disneyland. I don't even want a mini Disneyland. But I'm saying, like, you make it a better place, more fun, have it be an experience, have it be a place to go and have fun, make a day out of it. Hey, I want to go to the toy store today. Okay, we'll pick Saturday. We'll all go to the toy store on Saturday. And make it like you're going to the mall, like it's a big family outing to the mall. Not like a freaking Disneyland where you want to go in there and probably pay $170 to park in the parking lot. At that point, if they would be saving the one by where I work, I could see a lot of them parking in the mall across the street and walking across the road to save the $170. But then again, I think the mall, if I'm pretty sure the mall owns the lot that they're on anyway, so it's, yeah, who cares? Who cares? So, we're going for more on this here. So there's still more. Laren added that he had hoped a successful bid would save over 130,000 jobs in the United States. He had planned to use his own money along with financing from banks and additional investors to make the purchase. I talked about that last week. So you have all that stuff. Toys R Us filed its bankruptcy last fall. It announced in March that it would shut down or sell all of its U.S. stores after a failed turnaround bid. What failed turnaround bid? You shut down like 4 or 5 stores. Maybe a few more than that. Most I ever saw was like 4 or 5 stores in the U.S. That's all you shut down. It's like, oh, we're closing up this part. We're closing up this part. You shut down a few stores and you're like, we're still hemorrhaging money. Did you give it a chance to settle and see if maybe ending those stores might help you with the offset? Get rid of your excess inventory to other stores like Five Below or the Dollar Tree or something, or plop them up. Create a Toys R Us eBay page, you morons! Seriously, you could have done that and literally cleaned the hell up. Jeez. But it gets better. So in March, though, Laren tried to raise the $1 billion to save Toys R Us through a crowdfunding campaign. And his vision for Toys R Us, as I said, includes turning it into entertainment hotspots. Places where parents and kids can spend the entire day, like I said. I agree with that statement. But I don't imagine mini Disneylands in each neighborhood. No way. I don't picture mini Disneylands. But this just all slaps in the face of, what the hell does Toys R Us want? They put up a thing, we're filing for bankruptcy. All these places came and offered them assistance. Like, hey, we'll help you out. We'll sell, we'll buy some of your extra assets. No, we're just filing for bankruptcy. What did you want from people? Did you want them to help you? Or did you just want to be that crybaby that wants to complain, I'm going broke all the time, and yet you're buying a $50,000 Mercedes? Then you turn around and go, I can't afford decent food, and you're eating at a 5-star restaurant. you go, I can't afford to live in my house, and you're staying at the fucking Ritz. You can't have it both ways here, Toys R Us. And then you have an offer, a bid to save your asses, and what do? Bye! You flip them, you basically flip them the birds, like, we're rejecting the offer. $675 million was too low. No. 675 is too low? What did you want? Haggle with them a bit here, morons! The ball is technically in your court. Somebody wants to make you a bid, go, hey, this is what we'll take for it. The ball's in your court, stupids! I feel like that could be an Andrew Rants video at this point. Wow. So, yep, there you go. Toys R Us basically has now screwed themselves once again. Jeffrey, you poor giraffe. I feel for you at this point. I really do. You know, I'm a huge fan of Gundam. Always have been, always will be. Except for, there is one Gundam series that I can't stand, and it's kind of sad to say it's the original. Look, I understand there's a concept that you have to like the original, but I don't. I don't like the first Karate Kid that much, yet I stomach watching it. I'm just not that big a fan of the first one. I like the second one better. I cannot stand the first Short Circuit movie, yet I adore the sequel. So, when it comes to Gundam, sure, I hate the first one, but, I don't mind some of the other ones. They were pretty good. I love Gundam Wing. That was the one that I got started on. Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Zeta Gundam, and I caught up with a lot of the older ones by playing some of the old Gundam games, like Journey to Jaburo. I learned about the first one, which basically flatlined how much I hate it. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2, Gundam Encounters in Space. So many games that I played, so many things that explained to me, and so many things that it showed me. So, it works out. So, Sunrise has announced during their live stream yesterday that it's producing a new anime project in the Gundam franchise. Yes! I knew you couldn't constantly sit on iron-blooded orphans for eternity. Mobile Suit Gundam Narrative is the new project that's set in the UC 0097 of the Universal Century timeline of the original Mobile Suit Gundam series and Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. And the new project will have theatrical screenings in November. Bandai Channel also showed a promotional video for the anime, and the YouTube video in the previous link apparently was region locked to Japan in the article, which kind of sucked. It kind of sucks. That's kind of neat. Yeah, we want to see this. You cannot view this in your thing. That's the problem that a lot of the Gundam Info things had. They were region locking a lot of their stuff on YouTube. Because I was actually watching Reconquista in G. That was actually pretty good. And then it got to like episode 12, and all of a sudden it's like, this episode is locked from your country. The hell? Why? It just was. The project's tagline is going to be the next destination of the new type legend. For those of you that don't know, pretty much the entire premise of Gundam is new types. And I can hear a lot of people starting to type away now on the keyboards and going, that's not the entire premise of Gundam. It's a space opera. It's a wonderful space opera. Yes, you won't hear me deny that. It is a very good space opera. Endless Waltz is pretty much one of the best sidelines of the space opera that I actually enjoy the most. I love that one. But the whole basic point of Gundam is the new types. The ones that apparently have the ability to pilot the mobile suits because they can think quickly, they can have instincts, and all that other fun BS. I know. It bugs the crap out of me too. Sunrise also opened a website for the new anime project, so you have that to look forward to. The anime is part of the UC Next 0100 project that will tackle the future of the UC timeline. The project will also include a new technical game project for smartphones, manga, and novels. Oh! We're getting a game! We're getting a game! Yes! Tactical! Shit! I hate tactical games! They suck! I hate tactical games! I like RPG, I like fighter games, I like puzzle games. I hate tactical games. They suck. Especially because the majority of them are turn-based. Oh, I hate that. Aw, man. Oh, well, maybe it'll be a real-time tactical. Please be real-time. Hey, hint! Real-time tactical, please! Don't make it turn-based! Turn-based sucks! That was your stupid, Mobile Suit New Dawn game! That was freaking turn-based tactical, and it sucked! I couldn't even beat it! So the episode director is going to be Shinichi Yoshizawa. Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, Gundam Reconquista in G. Beautiful series. Wish I could have finished watching it. I didn't. Thunderbolt I did catch bits and pieces of on the Gundam Info channel, so that was kind of cool. So you have that. Hitaroshi Fukui, Mobile Suit Gundam UC, is penning the script. Kimiko Takahashi is in charge of the main original character design, and Sei-Jun Kim for Mobile Suit Twilight Axis, that I have not heard of before, is designing the character for animation. Wait, maybe I did hear that. That sounds familiar. I don't know. And I do apologize if I mispronounced any of your names. Beyond a doubt, I apologize. Japanese names are getting harder and harder to understand here. My apologies if I mispronounced it. So the official website describes the story as follows, and I'm going to quote it right off the article here, so I'm not going to mess this up. UC 0097. 1 year since the Lapis's box was opened. Despite the revelation of the original charter for the Universal Colony, which acknowledges the existence of new types and their rights, the world remains largely unchanged. After the destruction of the Neo-Zeon remnant force known as the Sleeves, the event has come to be known as the Lapis Incident, seems to have drawn to a close. In the final battle, 2 full psycho-frame mobile suits displayed power beyond human imagination. The menace of the White Unicorn and the Black Lion were sealed away from public consciousness and were consigned to be forgotten by history. But now sightings of the RX-0 Unicorn 03, long thought lost 2 years ago, are being reported. Its name is Phoenix, an immortal golden bird. That would be Phoenix. You can't even spell things right here. So you have that. That's the official. That's the official description of the story. If it's supposed to be an immortal golden bird, that would be a phoenix. You morons. The characters we got here are Yan Bashyuta, 25-year-old second lieutenant of the Earth Federation Space Forces, pilot of the narrative Gundam, childhood friends, blah 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 blah. Let's see here. Michelle Luo, 25-year-old space advisor to the Luo company. It's Luio, by the way. She is a specialist in fortune telling via bamboo stick divination. Okay. Rita Brunel, 25 years old, also a second lieutenant in the Earth Federation Space Forces, and the pilot of Phoenix, Phenex, Phoenix, I guess is how they're pronouncing it. She, like Yana, was the victim of the disaster in Australia in her childhood. Yeah, did it say anything about this? Okay, he was a victim of a disaster in Australia as a child. Oh, okay. That's all it says. I swear to God, if I see one more age 25, I'm going to lose it here. And I got some pretty cool pictures of the Gundam and the mobile suits. They're actually kind of neat. I'm always kind of a huge fan of how they do these drawings and everything. Just shows you how much talent they have I don't have, because I could never draw anything this cool. Jesus, that's just amazing. I'll try to have them on the video. If I can't, I'll link. I will do my best to link this. That I do promise, because I'm copying the link right now. So if I don't have the pictures up, I will have the link in the description, so you can check it out. It is kind of worth it. It's pretty cool. And Gundam is always a neat series. It's always something that can constantly get better and better with time. It's just how we go about it. So it's not too bad. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about it then. So I'm looking forward to this. I like Gundam. I'm even watching the new Gundam Build Divers series. It's airing right now on YouTube on the Gundam Info channel. That's actually pretty interesting so far. It's like I want to say it's sort of like Dot Hack meets Chaotic meets Sword Art Online and meets Gundam Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try. It's good. It's not too busy. It's not constantly all over the place. It's good. It's very well done. I like it so far. If you get a chance, check it out. It's Gundam Build Divers. It's really cool. It is subbed, so you're going to have to make sure the closed captioning is on the YouTube video, because it's YouTube subbing, not the video subbing, which I kind of hate, because YouTube subbing sucks. Oh well, beggars can't be choosers. Alright, My Hero Academia. I don't understand it. In all honesty, the best I can describe it for those that have never heard or seen it before, if you ever saw the movie Sky High, just think Sky High meets Tiger and Bunny in anime form. That's all it is. It's like Sky High and Tiger and Bunny both combined to create their own anime series. That's literally the best I can explain it. Yeah, that's literally the best I can explain it. But My Hero Academia, Hero's Dead End Program, is an escape game based on the hit series, and it's set to make a comeback in Japan. The event's return is scheduled for June 2nd and 3rd at Tokyo's Osaka Bright Core Hall, where participants will get a chance to take on the role of a UA high school student. In addition to solving puzzles, the escape room lets players use their quirks to counter villainous attacks in teams of 4. The puzzles need to be solved in 2 hours, so there's no time to waste. Tickets will go on sale on April 21st, which is today, but technically yesterday over in Japan. And if this is anything like last year's events in Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya, they are going to sell out fast. So, the whole premise of it is you basically work together as a team, solve a puzzle, and try not to get your asses kicked. Okay, that actually sounds pretty cool. I wish we'd have something like that here in the U.S. That actually sounds pretty cool. Then again, I can see insurance papers, constant issues with that, red tape, ugh. That would be pretty cool, have something like that here in the U.S. But on top of that, nice little bombshell that was dropped. This other one pretty much decimated the crater that the first one left. The first one gave you a nice little crater you can make a little pool out of. This one pretty much gave you half of the Pacific Ocean. So, My Hero Academia is finally going to be hitting Toonami. That's right. All you people out there that have been complaining and bitching and screaming at the top of your lungs going, where is it? Where is it? Where is MHA? Well, good news. It's finally coming to Toonami on May 5th. The anime series is finally getting its English television spot it deserves. In what seems like a total inevitability, the Bones adaptation of the hit manga will make its debut on Cartoon Network's Toonami anime block on May 5th at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which means that they gotta jostle around their schedule again. And this also means there's gonna be some bad things leaving and some good things not staying. So Toonami's got a new quirk, and they're excited to announce the newest show joining the block, My Hero Academia. The first episode premieres on May 5th at 11:30 p.m., and they will be showing all 3 seasons. And I know the first episode of Season 3 apparently was not simulcast dubbed, and you've constantly heard this. I think this is Funimation's baby. Yeah, this one should be Funimation's baby. Well, yeah, the art style has Funimation written all over. What am I talking about? They actually were tweeting out, as I was seeing the tweets, because they had All Might. And the only reason why I know is I know very little about this series. I hardly ever seen it other than clips and little bits of information here and there. But they had the one character in there called All Might, kind of like hand-drawn on this piece of paper, where they're explaining that due to technical issues that were far beyond their control, they did not receive the material that they needed from the original creator in time to dub the first episode. So they had to go ahead and dub episode 2, and they were just going to show episode 1 subbed, which pissed off some fans, didn't piss off a lot of other fans. It was a mixed bag on that one. But it's not a bad thing. So here's the lineup now for Toonami starting May 5th. At 10:30, Dragon Ball Super is kicking the block off right. 11 p.m., we got Dragon Ball Z Kai swinging in to finish off the bad guys. My Hero Academia comes in to clean up their mess at 11:30. At 12 a.m., Fooly Cooly rocks it to a whole new beat. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure kicks things off again at 12:30. Hunter x Hunter sweeps in at 1 a.m. 1:30, you got Black Clover. Naruto Shippuden showing off his ninja skills at 2. And at 2:30, the annoying Space Dandy wraps up the block for the night. Which means that I'm guessing Toonami's ending at 3 a.m. again. Based on this thing, they're ending at 3. So that's kind of sucks. Oh, no! Oh, my apologies. I just had to scroll down a little further. 3 a.m. you got Cowboy Bebop, and at 3:30 you got Ghost in the Shell. Second gig. Yeah. So it's from 10:30 to 4. Hey, it's finally picking up. Yay! That's pretty good. So yeah, this is kind of good, interesting news. So Fooly Cooly, like I said, they're getting their new thing. They showed Progressive season 1, which was the only season we ever had for the longest time. It was a one-off anime series. It wasn't bad. It's getting pushed back to 12 a.m. You got Dragon Ball Super, which is doing really well in English dub. They got a lot to catch up now since the Japanese airings have ended. Dragon Ball Z Kai, which I can't stand. My Hero Academia will be starting off then at 11:30. Hunter x Hunter is back on at 1. JoJo's at 12:30. Black Clover's at 1:30. Naruto 2. And Space Dandy 2:30. Cowboy Bebop at 3. And Ghost in the Shell second gig is at 3:30. So it's not a bad thing, but that lineup leaves a little bit to be desired. But otherwise, it's not bad. I mean, I can safely say that. It's a good lineup. It's solid. So, you got that to look forward to, all you fans of My Hero Academia. Man, I kind of wish I could be the Toonami person again, just sit up on a Saturday night and watch Toonami. I don't have cable anymore, so I can't do that. But Toonami will always be here in my heart. At least until they get their own channel and I can watch it on YouTube. Come on! Toonami, YouTube yourselves. Cartoon Network's gonna screw you in the ass again. Please, YouTube yourselves. You have a chance. Don't screw with it. I know those Cartoon Network lawyers can get a little screwy, but still, you have a chance. YouTube yourselves before it's too late. Please. Oh, what am I kidding? You're not gonna. Alright. We've all seen it. Those cute little bento boxes. Alright, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but if you've seen like the Pikachu things and some cute little critters, chances are you've seen a bento box. And if you're a fan of those things, all I have to say is this. Moon Bento Power! And I just lacked on about 50 lame points to my ass, but in all honesty, it was probably worth it. So why settle for a basic lunch when it could be magical? Yeah, a promotional video for the new Sailor Moon 25th anniversary tribute album will show you how to do it step by step. You're going to need more than just intermediate cooking skills for this one because the final result is a work of art. And a lot of these are just breathtakingly beautiful. It's more of a complicated decorative bento designs that they've ever seen, and it includes cutting out intricate pieces of tofu and dried seaweed. Excuse me for a second. Tofu and seaweed. I'm sorry, that's just dried seaweed at that. Ugh. And even drying or dyeing some of them to get the correct color of blue. Oh, God. If you still remain undaunted and want to listen to the cover of Ultimato Policy, whatever the hell that is, from the latest Sailor Moon Tribute album, check out the video below, which is a video I will try to have the link to in the thing, because I'm not about to, yeah, no way. I'm not going to up and try to explain a video like that. You're just going to be one of those, watch it for yourselves. I will try to get the link for you. You watch it for yourselves. But the newest tribute album contains covers of the classic Sailor Moon track by Lisa Bish, Hoku, Kagi, Silent Siren, and more. Guess Hoku Kagi is covering 2 tracks, including Lust Soldier. The band and theme song composer Akiko Kosaka appears in a video detailing the track's recording process. So that's going to be fun. Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, the 25th anniversary memorial tribute album will cost. Drum roll, please. Bing! 3,240 yen, or about $30 US when it hits the stores. Yeah, it hit store shelves already on April 4th, but it's going to cost you $30 bucks! Is it platinum already? For a CD, is it platinum? In the era of MP3, is it platinum? Are we talking flat out platinum here? So, that's definitely a must for all you Sailor Moon fans. I know there are so many of you out there. Look, I was a fan. I watched Sailor Moon growing up. I watched the English dub of it. I had the hugest crush on Sailor Jupiter. I will not deny it. I could not stand Sailor Moon herself. She was stuck up, obnoxious, a pain in the ass. Mercury was too intelligent. Mars was too fixated on her culture. I didn't care. And Venus would dump my ass in a minute for something else that walked by. I liked Sailor Jupiter. I will not deny it. I liked Sailor Jupiter. I had a huge crush on her. So it's kind of interesting. A bento box. It shows you how to make it. That's kind of cool. Like I said, I have seen those with like Pikachu and that. It is an art form, not something that I would want to do for my kids or for anybody. I wouldn't even want to do that for myself. If it involves pieces of tofu, intricately cut pieces of tofu, and dried seaweed. So if you're interested in learning how to make the cutest Sailor Moon bento, well, check it out. But if you're not, which, don't worry, I'm not either, don't worry about it. Just, pretend like it never exists. Don't worry. I won't tell anybody, I promise. I won't tell a soul. The ending. Alright, folks, that's going to pretty much do it this week for the absolutely, completely random podcast. I've had a lot of fun. Had some laughs. We killed some time. And I'll be back next week, as always, because I have no life, and I spend my Saturdays with you. Yes, I know. But anyway, if you have any topics you'd like me to talk about, feel free to drop them either in my discussion section. I do check that. My Twitter section, my Twitter page, you can post them on my Twitter page or tweet them to me at OtakeRoads. Plop them and post them on my Facebook page, Web Designer 18's Facebook page, I should say. And or email them to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com. All lowercase, by the way. And until next week, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Almost said the wrong thing there. And I will catch you all next time. Have a nice week. Have a nice time. And bye-bye, everybody.